Okay. First of all, some of you guys are new. Coach Love, nice to meet you. The new guys. Some of you guys I've seen all week. The one thing, coaches, that I think is very, very important is you have to be able to adapt. This is at the youth level, correct? Yeah. You get kids every year, new kids. What I find very, very unconstructive is the coaches that do not change philosophy because of kids. They say, this is my way, this is how I'm going to do it. I went 25-0 last year, got a new team, I'm doing the same stuff. Doesn't work. You have to be able to adapt to your players. Because I feel like our job is to make kids better and help them, find ways to learn and have the best advantage on the court. And I've got 4 points here. We'll spend about 20 minutes on each, depending on, if you have questions or what we want to do moving forward. This is how I run a typical practice, an average practice. I start out with a team chemistry drill. I feel that it's very, very important for these guys to like each other, to become like a basket. They're weaved together. If you pull them tight, they don't come apart. But if they're not together, it unravels. Okay. So I feel it's very, very important for the kids, boys or girls, who all come together. Okay. Yeah. So one drill that I like, it's called the USA drill. It works on, passing, cutting, moving, communicating, shooting, inside finish at the same time. So instead of talking about all these at once, I'll just knock out the team chemistry. Is that okay? Right now? Okay. USA drill. I need 3 guys at half court. White line. White line. Okay. What's going to happen is you're going to pass, layup. Layup. Run. Okay. That's how you start. When you pass, you run. Okay. When you pass, you follow. So you pass, boom, come around, boom. Okay. This side, 3. You pass up. Okay. Layup. Now, when you shoot the layup, boom, layup, out the way. Out the net, pass, catch, pass. 2 passes, 4 points. Let's try it one time. Pass, boom, boom. Stop. Now, perfect. Good. Now, you make that pass to you, and you catch it, and you pass, out the layup, follow. Points. Count that basket in 5 minutes. 2s and 1s. Depending on if they're familiar with the drill, if they make shots, depends on that number and that time. Depending on how much time you have. I do 72 in 4 minutes. Yeah. 72 in 4 minutes. It's hard because you got to run, you got to shoot, you got to pass, you got to do a lot of things. You got to talk. So once you make the pass, boom, and you're going to catch it. Volley. You have to call for it. Let's try this one time. Run out. Run. Okay. Now, that's just a quick drill on what I do at the very, very beginning. Again, you can keep track of turnovers. If they drop the ball, if they travel, stop them. Start over. It's good because whether you're a post player or a guard, you have to do everything. Layups, dribble, pass. You have to be a player, not as a position, but a player. My kids in the States, every team that I coach, they know I say USA, boom. They're ready to go. And so they know it on time. I do this religiously every day. We do the same drill, so it's embedded in their minds and they know exactly what to do and they're accountable. I like to teach basketball players, not necessarily positions. You look at George, you say, he's a post player. But to me, I want to make you a guard. so you can dribble and be a good player and play anywhere. Okay. Let's talk about guards first. When I first see a guard, I watch them and it's catch, and then pass, turnover. It's just too much dribbling, not enough fundamental skill set. I believe in my philosophy that as a guard, your job is to push the ball. Okay, find your teammates, push the ball, find your teammates, and make good decisions. You know, it's very, very frustrating to see a guard just make a bad decision to me. So what we'll do is we'll go over some drills really quick that I do for my guards to get them ready to be able to push the ball. And then the most important one is find scoring opportunities. Kendall Marshall for UNC, the point guard that broke his wrist in the tournament. Very, very good point guard. He's one or two dribbles and it's pass. He's hitting guys, he's getting them in good position so they can do what they need to do with it. You know, again, I teach the Americans over there to play European style, you know, move the ball. Don't dribble, take one pass, one dribble, at most two dribbles, and advance the ball up the court. Finding scoring opportunities because hardly ever are all five defenders playing together at the same time. So there's always a mismatch, which brings me to my next thing. Is it doesn't matter who on the court has the mismatch. Someone has a mismatch, and I believe I want to find it, attack it, until they make an adjustment. And once they do that, then we add structure, plays, etc. But we're finding mismatches every time. So to sum that up, I teach my young kids to play European style and the NBA style at the same time. Pushing the ball and finding the mismatches. Because if you watch NBA a lot, it's a lot of standing still and mismatches, one-on-one mismatches. So we do the same exact thing, but it's a mix of both, how I believe. And again, it's that type of philosophy that allows me to adapt. Because I can, if we don't have good enough offensive players to play and find those mismatches, then the Euro style comes a little bit more. You know, the pushing the ball, the moving it, pick and roll, screens, etc. And if we have good offensive players, then I allow them the opportunity to isolate and find their mismatch. You know, if it's a bigger guard and a smaller guard, I take them to the post. Again, it goes back to I teach players, not positions. You know, if I have a point guard who's this tall and another guard, we'll post him up, he'll turn to the basket and score. If I have a big guy, you know, that's got a smaller player guarding him, he'll post up, or a bigger player. We'll pull him out, run some pick and pop stuff, to where he's able to go off the dribble. We won't spend as much time with this one, but the second one I'll show you this, because you catch it here, and you reverse here, and then go. That one is legal, correct?
Yeah, the cross step.
Yeah, cross step. So that takes us to our next one. So you'll roll it out. Here. Dribble. Attack the basket. Okay. Let's get two more balls in line. Go. I'll teach my players to use the right hand. I teach them to use the inside scoop. Sometimes you beat the defense. I teach them the floater. I teach them the Euro step. And then I also teach the pro hop, or the air dribble. What this is you're here, hop across the defense, and then finish it. So that's another move in the inside that I teach. As I like to have options every time I go to the basket, because you'll never know what you'll run into as a player. So if you're here and the defense is there, and you can't Euro or you can't figure roll, you have to, under control, hop across him and still get your shot. So be able to have footwork to do anything at any given time. That way there's no excuses. Well, Coach, He was in my way. You have to be able to know what I'm talking about. Then move the line to this side. So when you roll the ball out, you here. Step across. Okay. So again, I spend a solid 20 minutes on this drill alone sometimes, depending on what type of skill set we're doing in practice and what we need to work on. That way, they're able to get finished around the basket, working on their shooting, their endurance. So everything we do is always movement. So I don't have to spend time running them when they can do it with the basket. So it's conditioning as well. Question?
How much time is a whole practice for your team?
An hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, it's a typical practice for my youth team.
Okay. That's the same.
Same? Okay. So I'll spend team chemistry about 15 minutes. I'll do 2 or 3 different drills. And then I'll spend 15, 20 minutes on offensive skill work. So what I do is I always have either an assistant coach or another coach with me. I have my guards on this end and my bigs down there, my post players. And when so while we're doing the footwork and stuff down here, they're doing post work down there. I feel like as a post player, you need to be able to score with your back to the basket, score facing the basket, and anywhere, short corner, anywhere, be able to score. And I also believe you need to handle the ball versus pressure, because a lot of teams will press you, and if your guards can't handle it, the post players normally just sit back at half court and they watch like that. I want you to be engaged, so you might have to come up here, big guy, handle the ball, and go up the court and push the ball. Okay, so you get guys 6'8" like LeBron and Carmelo Anthony and those bigger guards. Well, some people say, "Oh, you're big, you play post." Not me. Everybody has to dribble the ball. So again, you might have a team. Everybody is 7 feet, or 6'8" and above, and you've got a 6'8" point guard. You've got taller guards that used to be post players, but now are guards because they can handle the ball. They can play any position at any time. So I feel like it makes you that much harder to defend on the offensive end, and it makes you that much better defensively, because if you can do multiple things, you can think. So it's not hard to adapt again to any given situation. Some post-work stuff that I do, when I teach the block, I tell my guys I don't like them posting up here, because you take the drop step here, you've got here, there's no room. Okay. I teach them one step up on this block.
Αυτό μας το είπαν κι άλλοι, έτσι, και άλλοι που κάνουν τα Χριστούγεννα, ότι είναι middle post για αυτούς. Έτσι, είναι εκεί το post.
So when he catches it, he has room. So when he takes a step back, now when he gets that guy out the way, he's got an angle to the basket. Okay? And if he drops this way, he's got the basket again. Basic moves that I teach in the post, are catch it. I always teach catching the block and chin it automatically. And look both ways, just like you cross the street. That way, a lot of players do this. It's stolen because they don't look. Be patient. Here. You look, where's the defender? If he's here, basic, boom, to the rim. Okay? And if he's here, you go this way. It just makes perfect sense. You're playing against a really good defender, you've got to be able to do some things. I teach the crab jump. He's on this shoulder. 1, 2, step across, finish. I teach that one to the middle. Teach it on both sides. Same thing to the baseline. He's here, turn. Right hand back here. Then once they have that move, depending on their skill level, if they're basic or if they're advanced, we add everything to it. So when you crab dribble this way, you show, and then turn and go. So I teach that going both ways. Once they have those, those are my basic, my favorite ones to go to. There's a whole list of them. We don't have that much time. And the next one is I don't like just a back to the basket type of player. You have to face up. So when you catch it, you have to be able to go to pivot, open up and play the game. Okay? Attack the basket this way or attack it this way. Shoot it.
Shoot τη μία τρίπλα.
Or you turn this way, turn, up, step through, to the basket. The other one, turn, up, show the ball, step through, finish. In the post. And then that's just on this block. If I have if George is on my team, for right now, I would keep him here and work on his face-up game. If I have, the blue shirt, the guys in the blue shirt, okay, I would bring them to the high post area where they catch it, they now can shoot the jump shot and attack the basket and play both ways. So depending on your personnel, depends on where they play. But they all have to be able to do these moves. So again, the 15, 20 minutes, you work on those moves. How I would have these guys is, again, boom, whoa. Okay, I teach them getting down here, okay? So you post up here, so when you catch it, you have to beat the pass. Go get it, okay? So now you're right in position where you're supposed to be. All right? So that's what you'll do. Again, post players, playing a guard position on the wing. You're here, triple threat ripping through. Wherever they want the ball, if he puts his hand up here, you have to fake the pass low. He puts his hand down here, you have to fake the pass high and throw it low. Move, you catch it, boom, drop it, finish. Okay? Go, that line. Pick it. Go. Off the ball. Fix it, go. Take a step, George. Take a step. Good. Okay, so when you get here, down to the turn, get to the middle. Okay? Quick. Finish high. Then I've got the post players working on the block, and I've also got the post players being able to make the pass. Triple threat, if it's not there, they're swinging. So that they're always having a foot in the guard's position at the same time. And then again, you can mix up a lot of different moves on the block and different things. And once another thing that I do out of this, because again, I want you to play both areas. So when I have the ball here and you can't get it, I'll dribble to the baseline, one dribble, you slide to the high post. So like this. Slide, ball. Now you're here. Now you're face up. Okay? So if you don't get it there, now you have to move here. So you can play every position and you're never at a disadvantage, ever. Go. Try that. And again, if I have more time, there will be more drills to explain and more moves to talk about. But that's basic guard post player drills that allows me to touch everything that I work on, with the footwork, with the ball handling, with the grip throughs, with back to the basket, high post, low post stuff. And again, off that drill, if he's not there and he dribbles this way, that guy pops out that way. And then it's the same footwork, the same drills, you rip to the basket, you're able to play the game. Get it? Then we do that. Then I add defense.
Okay.
Or I'll have a coach, with a pad staying here, so when they come, we play like a very bad defender, we're fouling, we're pushing, and they have to work on getting that. And then sometimes we also turn into a game situation. We will add defense 2-on-2, and they got to make their pass. So yes.
Coach, we agree that we don't specialize in terms of positioning the practice in youth programs. But there is a conflict here. What I mean, somebody must set the screens. Somebody must come off the screens. Somebody must guard the opponent big man. Somebody must guard the opponent shooting guard. I'm talking about young ages during the games. What do? We specialize the training, the practice,
I think you
or not,
generalize.
we work out everybody, everything. There are some practices that we have to split them in positions from young ages. What do we do? Because in Greece, here in Greece, there is a conflict.
So let me ask you this question. So if you've got...
We choose many plays. We specialize the kids from the age of 10 years old, 11 years old.
We go so much on tactics, and we go from young ages. We go like post plays and.
I got you. Are your mismatches always? You have two guards. Like if you and I, or like if John's a guard and I'm a guard, he's obviously bigger than I am. Is that the conflict that you're having? You just have bigger guards and little guards, or do you have guards guarding post players? I mean, what type of is it? A position mismatch, or is it just a size thing?
No, I say that. Okay, we practice everything. We work out everything. Everybody, all the positions in the practice. But it's time to play a game. How we play the game?
Okay,
we have to choose a passing game, pass and cut. We choose somebody to feed them in the post. We play the pick and roll with specific guys in young ages. I mean, from what age and more we say that okay, you will play in play 5 or in play fist. You play as a postman. You are the guard. From what age we specialize the kids? This is my
what
question.
age are you saying should you start giving them positions?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have. Let's say Thanasis, for example, has a team of 10 years old, and the 10 years old play every Sunday from October to April. They play their tournament. What he has to decide to play during the game? A passing game?
I think at that age, I think you teach everybody to do the same thing. So if I'm guarding the wing, you teach everybody. Deny the ball in the middle, force to the baseline. As a coach, the ball goes to the post. What do you want? Do you want them to play behind the post? This happened to me. Do you want them to play here? Or do you want them to front? Do you want them to quarter front? Top? Or the bottom? It depends on what you want. As a 10-year-old team, I've got an 11-year-old team. I teach these guys the same exact thing. Everyone has to be able to defend and help each other. Right now you're going to have mismatches in sizes, but everybody's not going to be the same size forever. So you have to be able to guard everything. So I teach my guys to quarter front. Okay, if they can, definitely mismatch your quarter front. When the ball gets in front of you, you've got the full front. That's everybody. Guard all the way to the post player because we've got help side. Now, if he's on offense or defense and I'm on offense and he's big, I will teach him, whether he's a guard or a post player, if you're bigger than the person you're guarding, you play behind in the post. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that way you're generalizing what you're doing. You don't have to do so much thinking. You're keeping it simple at this age, and then once they get 12, 13, and they start to, really sprout.
And during the game, you play the freelance game, or you play specific plays in young ages?
Offensively speaking?
Yeah.
I find my mismatches. I have I run the pick and roll. I got a shooter, ball, screen, short corner. Pick and roll this way. If we can score it, we score it. If not, we got shooters. You've got a guy rolling, or a guy rolling, and you find. I'll run that if I don't have anything. If you have a go-to play that works for you, I would use it. If it doesn't work, you have to figure out where's your mismatch. Is the mismatch with, Johnny in the corner? He's a shooter, but we just can't get him the ball. Well, you've got to now adjust your whole game plan to get him the ball. You've got to find a way to see that mismatch. And I think as a coach, that is our job to see it on the court, because at 10 years old, they're not going to find the mismatch.
Yes, I mean, you don't teach specific plays in the practice to run them in the game. You work out everything, and it depends on the game. You tell them during the game what to do.
Yeah, we have 3 or 4 plays that we run that they know. But in the game, I'm teaching them move the ball, find an easy option. If you don't have anything, you run our play just to provide structure. So at first they're running up and down, and then the play is, okay, we have nothing. We can't score. there's too much pressure, run motion, run Kentucky, run a certain play that we know in our minds already.
Play something read and react.
Yeah. You know, so that's what I would do. You know, that's what I do. That way it saves me from, you know, because again, as a youth provider, when we give these kids plays, they go to their middle schools next year, and they go to their high schools. So they have to learn so much. I keep it to where they can make a decision. Does that answer your question? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yes, I teach in plays. We only use them if we have to.
And you have a certain pattern, a formation, a court.
3 out 2 in, yeah. Wing, top wing,
So
block, block.
from there, you work some pick and roll or motion.
Yes, but you
cuts.
have to decide who you can prevent this during the practice. Everybody works out everything.
Yes, that's why the offensive drills and the post player drills, everybody does everything.
Okay.
And you'll see who can handle the ball, who cannot, who's good to the basket, who can play in it. And you have to coach, you have to have eyes to see who can do what. You know, like if you have a kid, you get a team this week and you play next week, are you going to know? It takes a couple of weeks, maybe a month to figure out who can do what, where they play. Because, you know, I have kids that I might put in the post because they're a little bigger, but in the game, like, they just can't play that. I have to pull them out to the wing, and if they have to be a guard, and I take a guard that I know can play at the basket, and I move him down there, or I just move it up, go 5 out, pass a cut, move the ball. So it's important to work on the offensive skill of the defense, the post players and the guards, wings and guards.
Να κάνω μια ερώτηση.
Μία ερώτηση coach.
It's better playing 4 out and 1 in the block to more pace.
I like that because it allows you. I like to play fast.
Yeah.
I don't like to walk the ball up. You got 2 post players. That just makes you slower. If you got one good guy down there, you know you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in the corner, and then elbow extended. Space them out. You know, throw it there, keep it out. You've got different options. That makes the game faster and easier. So I do.
Τελειώνω σε μισή ώρα, είμαι σε σεμινάριο. Είμαι σε σεμινάριο, τελειώνω σε μισή ώρα.
It keeps you limited. But if you're playing a very, very small team, you beat them up. You put 2 big guys down there and you just throw it down there every day.
Έχει, εντάξει, γεια.
Any other questions so far? I apologize if I'm going fast.
Είμαι σε σεμινάριο, έγινε, γεια.
You guys are good. The ball, the ball goes to the net. Not sure if you guys do it here, but in the States have this a lot, besides the Phoenix Suns. They get the ball here, and then we're trapped. We throw it in, we get trapped. I'm a firm believer that as soon as that ball goes to the net is here, gone. You know, in 1 second we're out, 3 seconds we're scoring. How do I get this done? I designate a player. I say, you always take the ball out of bounds. No matter where they're at on the court, they have to come get the ball. And normally it's probably going to be like a player that plays around the high post, you know, as a 4-man, 3-4-man that can handle the ball, that can make a decision, you know, and that's active, that's going to rebound. So they're already here when the ball goes to the net, they're out this way. Pivot, hit your guard, and we're going. That way we don't allow time for the defense to set up. I like that, Jordan, do everything. Okay, just a basic one-on-one matchup. Okay, I believe that you never want to allow it to the middle, whether that's their weak hand, strong hand, nothing, because it breaks down the defense. So I like to force to my help, which is the baseline and the sideline. So you're here, your top foot is over his, your bottom foot is in the middle of him. Okay? You got a hand, one arm's length away. This allows you space to recover. Because you know, a lot of guys do this and they go by it. So you're here. And what I do, I don't know if it's legal here in Europe, but I know it is in the States, is I take my hand and I poke him in the eye and like that. See how he backed up? He doesn't like that. Okay, so it's uncomfortable. So when I do this, he doesn't think about my play. He's like, get his hand on my face. He's frustrated. It flusters him. So he now has to take a defensive stance, versus an aggressive stance. So now I control the situation. So now I'm here, and I'm controlling the situation. Okay. Now let's say I get beat, and he dribbles that way. A lot of players go to the ball. I don't like that. I want you to beat him to the spot. You're here, and you cut him off. Okay. So you're always one arm's length away. One arm's length away. Tracing here, hands here, pressure here. I don't teach reach for the ball because it just makes a bad play. I reach, he goes by me, it breaks everything down. Again, the word adapt, depending on my team. I might deny everything with certain players, and then I might say, hey, ball pressure with the next guy, his help side, one pass away. So it depends on what you want to do. I teach to be physical. If you start the game physical, the refs don't call those fouls. If you start the game passive, but now it's the fourth quarter and there's 3 minutes left, and now you're like this, foul. So I teach from the jump to be physical. To be the aggressive one, to dominate the possession every time. It intimidates players. Again, so I beat him to the spot. I believe that. Am I good?
Yeah.
In a full court pressure situation, if I can with my team, I press. I come up full court press, man to man, different options. If they can't, we drop back in man to man. Okay, I don't like to play a lot of 2-3 zone. It's a lazy man's defense to me. But I wouldn't say that about Jim Boeheim in Syracuse because they run that phenomenally and they're very good at it. But most youth basketball organizations, they run a zone and it's horrible. I just run a basic zone offense, pick them apart, shoot, and it's really, really easy to beat a zone. So I don't teach it because I want my kids to be good man-to-man defenders. So when they go to high school, they're not an ailment, they're not a problem. They can do all. Really quick on just the man-to-man defense. Any questions on that one?
The rules of the game in Europe, they don't allow us to set up a full court press until the last 2 or 5 minutes. Is the same in the US?
No, you can press the whole entire game.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, this is, I don't know where it started, when it started, when.
Do you have any question regarding man-to-man and how I would run it, and my philosophy in the defense, or do you want to see something new?
Για την άμυνα καταλάβατε, έτσι. Άγγελε είπε ότι του αρέσει να παίζει side-down, δηλαδή να μην δίνει κέντρο, ένα μέτρο.
If you have a little kid that he cannot dribble with a weak hand, you tell to your players to turn the close-out defense to a close-in defense, or you are always close-out?
When you have a player that is one-handed, the pressure will break them very, very easily. So what I do because whether they, sit on, force them to their weak hand, they might get away with it and, push it out and then switch hands and something might happen. I just teach you up the pressure. You add more, but you get closer. You're smothering them so they are one direction only versus forcing to the weak hand. And then, if everyone's doing their job, you won't have any, mistakes. Because and sometimes, I won't say never, but I'll say sometimes I will do that. If it's an advantage for us and we need to make a run, I say, sit on his right hand, force him left. When he goes, just stay there. Everyone stay in their positions, and he'll miss the layup and we'll go. But I don't do that all the time because some players, might fool you, and they might lose the ball, get it back. Just so many things can happen by forcing to the middle. So I'm not a betting man. So I play it safe a lot, and I just say, stay in front of the ball. We'll guard. We'll steal the pass. That is what I teach.
Okay.
I've done it both ways. Just, again, it depends on the players.
So the time.
Okay, that's it.
We're okay. Yes. About questions, if they have
Questions?
something.
Anything on the board? Want me to draw up anything?
We're okay. So, what's the story now? When you will play again?
I'm trying to play it right now.
Θέλω να παίξει δέλτα σκανά.
Okay.
But when I play, I don't play that man-to-man pressure defense. I don't play in college no more. I don't do that. I just teach it.
I showed you some.
Yeah. My defense is very, very weak right now. But I make it for an offense.
Ένα μικρό ερώτημα για τον Έρη, για τα παιδιά.